Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So the other night I hosted the first official community event for the channel and had an absolute blast. I genuinely really enjoyed it. It really kind of brought my love for Gran Turismo 7 back. It was an absolute hoot. We did two races. The first is the pre-1985 cars, limited to 600 performance points. It was just an absolute hilarious race with some really funny cars. So sit back and enjoy the highlights of that race. So let's get the first official channel community event underway. We have a Volkswagen GTI followed by a Lancia Stratos and a Corvette to lead us away. So we're at Watkins Glen. This is the short course layout for a 5-lap event. So more of a sprint race. There's a whole different build of cars here. There's just stuff from, you know, a Golf GTI up to a Ferrari. We've obviously got myself in the Pantera. There's old Mercedes, which I like to call the Tank. Then you've got one of the older Bath cars, really hilarious. We've got Toyotas, muscle cars, Porsches. So there's really kind of everything all in one for this event. So I absolutely had a hilarious time just seeing some of the stuff that people brought along. So we're having a look at the grid order at the minute. We've got Pig City Racing in the Porsche 911, and he's going pretty strong. However, it's looking like the Corvette's just ran wide there. I believe a Stratos went off, the Stratos that started in P2. I'm then going to nudge into the back of Archangel, so I'm pretty sorry for that. And James May is not going to quite get the move done in that pesky little Bath. Now, the Stratos, well, it did kind of drop back. He did eventually have to leave. I feel like he just got a bit fed up, but I believe he was in the next race. Ticket Bait, however, he's at the back after an incident with Avalanche early on, so they're going to battle it out. I feel like Avalanche did not have the best time in that little Alpine. Definitely a tricky, pesky little car to get hold of, and yeah, it feels like it kind of cost him a good few positions. We've got the Golf leading the way, absolutely running away with it, followed by a Ferrari of Pirat, which started very far back, I believe, with myself. However, the Ferrari just seemed like an absolute rocket. Definitely the standout car in terms of performance in P2. P3, we still have the Tank running well of Frogging Bullfish. So yeah, well done to him. Jace in the Toyota, he's managing to keep P4 currently. Then we've got myself in the Pantera, up in P5 currently. About to make a move on the Toyota, trying to get it down the inside. You can see the front end just dipping down over the curves, and around the Toyota we go. But no, I do not. I'm going to basically lose it and have to do it all again. We are going to get that move done eventually. We've got the two Porsches side by side, the two 911 turbos, followed by the AMG Mercedes. Awesome looking machine, awesome sounding machine, and Xylon actually having a very good race. Really kind of getting that Mercedes to work for himself. Then we've got James May in the Abarth car. Absolutely awesome to see. One of my favourites that arrived to this community event, and it seemed very quick and very nippy, especially in the corners. So it really did kind of catch me by surprise looking back at this race. Pig City Racing, well, he's just took his penalty. He's going to have to make all that time back up. Archangel, he's in P10 in the C2 Corvette with Ticket Bait, trying to get a move on after those early accidents. So away he goes. Then we've got Avalanche really not getting to grips with the Alpine, seeming like he's struggling. He's quite far off the pace. He did have a strong second race, and around he goes. Poor Avalanche, he's just not having a good time of it. Pirat has now took the lead from the Golf. I feel like that was pretty much inevitable, but the Golf hanging on to the back of the Ferrari, especially through the corners. So in terms of straight line speed, well, the Ferrari is an absolute rocket ship, but that Golf, well, it's very nippy through the corners. Really impressed with the driving by the I want to say Hungarian, so sorry if I have butchered that, but I believe you're Hungarian. I've got myself up in P3. I've just took my track limits penalty, whoops, and I am followed by Xylon. He's holding in pretty well in that Mercedes, managing to get through the pack quite nicely. Frogging Bullfish, well, the tank is still going in P5 as he runs wide, and he's chased down by the Porsche, Abarth and Toyota. I'm not sure if the second Porsche is quite on the back yet. No, it's not. So it's looking like Largent's going to make the move down the main straight, but I'm surprised just how quick that tank of an old Mercedes really is, pushing him out wide. And it's looking, oh, they both ran wide. So yeah, that's looking like, yeah, James May, he's gone through. He's up in P5, so awesome move by him. Take advantage where you can, mate. He's absolutely away as the tank and the Porsches continue to battle it out. The Toyota just kind of losing a bit of pace to the other guys, sadly, and that looks like Pig City Racing. He's starting to make up that lost time from that 3-second penalty as he keeps going in his Porsche 911. Jace, however, he's not having the best of times, falling back in these later stages of the race, but definitely one of the most awesome looking machines. In P10 and P11, well, Ticket Bait and Archangel, the two big muscle cars battling it out. Looking like probably the Pontiac of Ticket Bait's definitely more stable, but in terms of straight line speed, well, Archangel and that Corvette are definitely leaps ahead. But I feel like this is where Ticket Bait's going to make most of his time up, as that Chevy just drifts and slides everywhere, looking like a real handful. Ticket Bait keeping it nice and clean, trying to recover from that, you know, incident early on with Avalanche. I don't think we've quite seen it. I feel like we kind of caught it in the background, but it is what it is. As Ticket Bait, the side by side actually. So this is going to be a battle of wits, and it's, oh yeah, so Archangel just using that higher top speed to really kind of move himself up the grid. Avalanche, however, he's a lap down, not having the best of races as he just lets me slide on past. At least he's you know, at least he's following the blue flag rule, so thank you so much to him. And the final lap, well, Pirat, he's taking P1 surely now, unless he makes a mistake. The Golf just behind him in P2, so very well done to him. However, I just couldn't keep it in the straight line. Myself, well, I'm P3, and I'd say it's pretty middle of the range, that car. Not as fast as a Ferrari in the straights, but not the slowest through the corners either, so it is what it is. As Pirat, he rounds the last corner, he is going to win our first ever community event, so well done to him. Absolutely awesome drive from, you know, the back of the grid with myself, just using that rocket powered Ferrari to take the win of our first community event. Followed closely by the Golf of the Hungarian, so well done to you. Absolutely, you know, holding it in there in probably one of the, you know, weaker PP cars in the game. Myself, I'm just going to joke around and take P3. Xylon GT, he's going to come P4 in that big Mercedes, kind of in his own race towards the end there. And James May, he's going to take P5 in the Abarth. Very well done to him. Largent P6 in the first of the Porsches. Pig City Racing, he's going to take P7 in the second of the Porsches. The Tank's coming P8 of Frogging Bullfish, so well done to you. And Jace, well, he looked like he just spun out there. Is he going to manage to get himself across the line for P9? It's looking like it, yeah. So he's kind of just on his own at this point, but well done to Jace for taking P9. It's looking like he just backed out then. So no, in fact, no, Ticket Bait's going to take P9. Well done to Ticket Bait for getting a top 10 after that absolutely awful start and that accident at the start. Just beating Archangel. So let's go take a look at the highlights of the race. So the first ever community crash, well, it involved Avalanche and Ticket Bait. Avalanche is just going to go a little bit deep, run it wide, spin the rears up, and poor Ticket Bait, well, he's just going to go straight into the back of him and have to recover such a big gap to the rest of the cars. He does get going again in that Trans Am, so very well done to him for sneaking into the top 10 at the end there. The Stratos, it did eventually back out. It's going to go for a spin round, the front end just dipping, so I know exactly what happened here. I have it happen a lot when I try out this car. I'm not the biggest fan of driving it, although it does look and sound absolutely amazing. Managing to recover, however, I feel like he did have another moment a bit later on. Then we've got Xylon GT making his moves all in one. He's going to go past both the Porsches as they're about to serve their penalties, and then he's just going to make short work of the Toyota. The higher top speed of this Mercedes, also very, very stable. He's going to get past him and make all his moves in pretty much one straight, so well done to him. Pirat, he was battling for the lead. He's going to take it there as he inevitably takes the lead, maybe not doing it in the most cleanest way possible, but it is what it is. However, the main focus point of this is the Hungarian hanging on the rear end of this Ferrari through the corners. You can see almost, pretty much at one point getting on the bumper of the Ferrari, so that Golf was definitely no slouch. The cars were actually put in kind of lowest PP first, so it's very surprising to see such a low performance point car really hold on all the way to the end. Then we've got Ticket Bait finally making the move on Archangel after battling it out early on. Well done to him. It was a move that really kind of got him into the top 10. Then we've got James May. He's going to make the move on Largent and Frogging Bullfish, sneaking through as they kind of make the mistakes, and then there's no looking back for him. Very well done to him. Awesome move as they run up the hill. On board of the race, well, it's got to go to Ticket Bait for this side-by-side battle with Archangel. In terms of sound, it's just absolutely incredible as they battle side-by-side through the corner and back onto the straight. But Archangel, he's just going to have the higher top end, but the lower grip through the corners. Ticket Bait having to give away the position there. However, he's going to keep on battling into the left-hander, and he will eventually, obviously, take that P10 away from Archangel. So my top 3 favourite cars that arrived. In third place, we have the Hungarian having the Mark 1 Golf GTI. Absolutely awesome job by him holding on to P2 for the whole race and even challenging the Ferrari through the corners. Definitely one of my favourite cars to turn up to the meet. Second place, well, it was James May in the Abarth. What an awesome, nippy looking car, managing to get P5 in it in the end. So it just goes to show you that raw power isn't everything. If you've got the handling, you've got the grip, and you can just kind of work your way through the accidents, well, you can get quite high up the grid. So massive well done to him. After kind of falling back in the earlier stages, he managed to push up and get himself into P5. Very, very well done to him. Awesome car. And my favourite, well, someone actually did it. I kind of set the limit to pre-1985, so I thought there's going to be quite a few maybe BMWs and such there. And I didn't really expect anyone to actually bring anything along. I was hoping they would. And he brought along this, the big tank Mercedes. Such an old car, such a rolling roadblock. And it just made my day seeing this thing kind of cruise around. Eventually, obviously, getting himself in P8. So well done to him. So that is it for our first ever community event, our first ever community race. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to those that took part. Keep your eye out in the community post for when our next one is. I'm going to try and get one weekly. I really genuinely had some huge fun, just taking part, meeting you guys, and just seeing us all kind of race as one as a community. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Turn those notifications on so you don't miss anything by me. I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers guys, peace.